Welcome to the 10 Acre Woods. My name's Mark, and I wanted to talk a little something about feed. Feed for chickens, feed for geese, grain. So in the past we had purchased our feed from a feed supplier, pre-processed and medicated, but what's exactly in it? We're paying all this money for this feed. Let's look at making our own feed. So what we did is we got some barley, some oats, some wheat, some lentils, some flax seed, and some canola oil. And we broke them down, we ground them down, and we put them into, we did a couple different formulations. Put them into a bag and shipped them off to the lab. We brought that information back and compared it to what is actually in the feed that you would buy at a feed store. What proteins and what fibers, the nutritional value of the grain or of the feed. And in comparing that, one of our feed blends was bang on, with the exception of the proteins were a little low and of course calcium. So you can add protein, things like kelp, for one example, is a good protein source. Protein's essential in the wintertime when there's no foraging happening outside. They're not able to get those bugs, so of course you need to give them that. We tend to pull back on that during the summer as they're out in the yard eating bugs. So what we ended up with was this formulation here, as it reads, and I've shown this in another video. So we've broken it down, we've scaled it up to 16 cups of wheat, 8 cups of oats, 8 cups of barley, 2 cups of lentils, 2 cups of flax, and 2 cups of canola. I think we're cutting down a little bit on the canola slightly. We have done some reading and some studies on, or read some studies, that canola oil can impact the egg laying. Now it's still, there's nothing concrete. They did a few different studies. It doesn't affect it that much. But at the time we were looking at that, we had a very low egg production, which is likely due to them being inside the building. Of course, going into their molting, they're not going to be producing as many eggs when they're molting because their energy is going back into their feathers. So gravel, a grit, oyster, something that they can process their food with, and of course eggshells. So when we cook an omelet inside, we keep those eggshells, we throw them in the microwave to dry everything out. You can bake them as well if you're not so keen on microwaves. And then you crush them back up and you feed them back to the chickens. Give them free choice on that. Of course, kelp in the winter months is free choice. And then the flax is, you get your omega-3, and I believe it's omega-9 from that. So we've now taken it to our next step. These are our small sample packs here that we had done. So here's our canola and our lentils, and these are just the ground down material that we did. Oats didn't grind down too much. You got a lot of husks going on there. The wheat and the barley. We don't have a lot of corn, but it's more of a filler really than anything. Corn seems to be in everything as a filler. And then our flax seed. So the problem with flaxseed and canola oil is in feeding it to them whole, they can't properly break it down. So it just runs right through their body. So you need to break it down and crack the seed, so to speak. So what we did is we ended up going and picking up a grinder. Just a grinder. We looked around, and of course, we wanted something that was going to last. We first tried an old coffee grounder, which didn't quite, it worked for a little bit, and then that was the end of it. It was used anyway, so it wasn't too bad. So then we looked at online, of course, at what we could buy online. And we've actually ended up finding one on a brewer website from the city. So I went in there and I took a look at that. For $50, we picked up a grinder. So let's head out to the barn and I'll show you what that's all about. Lucy? And this is it. So this is the grinder that we have here. Now, it's 50 bucks. 50 bucks Canadian, so I'm sure you can get it for cheaper if you're in the US. Now, this is the handle that goes on it, and it's just meant to go on, and you just crank it. But, of course, that's going to take an awful long time. So what we ended up doing is we put a bolt on the end of here, and we've brought out the big guns. We can grind it down fairly quickly. We were pretty amazed on how many scoops, these scoops here, we did about 13 of these scoops in the period of maybe about 10 minutes. Now, what we want to do, and the reason why we're thinking about doing this now, is because we're going to be having chicks. So we're not quite ready to start up the incubator. That has been a question that people have been asking. Just because the incubator is in here, we didn't heat the building, this winter, which last year we did, so we started up the incubator a little bit earlier. So we're going to wait until we get everybody outside, we clean up the barn, and everybody's out keeping the dust down. That's a big, important factor of it. And of course the temperature as well. So we want to make sure that temperature is up and it's stable. And then we're going to start up the incubator and run that, but the chicks. So we want to make sure we're making a product that is going to be digestible by them. What we've been doing up to this point is we've been taking oats and barley and wheat. We have been crushing up the flax and the canola oil, not nearly as good as we have been with this. So we're going to actually blend an entire feed mix, just like we did on a smaller scale when we sent it off to the lab for testing. Of course, we're going to add something in there for protein as well, like some kelp. We'll likely look at grinding up eggshells and also adding that in there and making a blend that the chicks will have. Something that's a little bit more palatable for them rather than trying to suck on a huge oat from their perspective and choking on that. So that's why we're looking at this again, and we're starting to scale that up. I think it's time to go and have a look at the girls, our female goats, and find out why they haven't had kids yet, because that's a big thing that's been asked on our live stream that's happening now. And honestly, we don't know. I think probably just because they're a little later, they weren't quite ready for the process to go on when we put the stud in. So it's going to be an extra couple days. Probably because we're watching as well in anticipation, and it just seems like it's dragging on forever versus not having a live stream camera running and not watching them all the time. So we'll head over and take a look and find out what the girls are doing. Fernando, what's up, bud? How are the little mini gods? How are the girls doing? No, I didn't bring any treats with me. I didn't bring any treats with me, Patches. How's your girls? Or how's your babies, I should say. We don't know what they are. I was feeling snow the other day. What? Oh, you don't like that? You want me to rub your neck. That's, yeah, she's big on that. Or between the horns that she can't get at. She just loves that too. Now, with snow, the other day I felt, and actually I can feel it right here. You can actually see that spot right there. It feels like, I don't know, it's either a butt or a head. Is it going to move if we push it? No, nothing. Okay, well, there's something right there. And the other day, it had stretched and just came right out of the side. But you don't seem to care too much. You're just going to let it happen, aren't you, Snow? Yeah, just sit there and eat. Now, if you were watching the live stream, you would have seen that these girls kind of pushed around Blackie a little bit. Blackie's the, I guess, the black sheep of the family, or the black goat. These two here, Patches and Snow, are sisters. So they've been around each other all their lives, and they kind of know each other. And poor Blackie is the one that's left out. So she was very skittish when she came in. She's gotten much better lately. Hey guys. Hey Barry. Hey Petey. Hi Petey. Hi. Piper. You guys out? Oh, it's kind of frozen, that ground, isn't it? You're gonna dig away anyway. Oh, so things are drying up. It's just above freezing. Oh no, it's just below freezing. With that sun, it makes it feel so nice. So a little puddle still here left, but it was a very slow melt. We pumped out what we could. That's with this lie flat hose, which is now frozen. So we pumped out what we could. The ducks are eager to have some water to swim in. They've just got this dirty little puddle here. How you two doing? How you Goose Goose doing? How's Goose Goose? Hey? And what? Are you protecting the yard? Are ya? Yeah, that's going to be very low. So, well, we'll see what happens. We'll play it as it goes. We're thinking, we were looking at actually lining the pond. You know, that's a whole new set of challenges, making sure that the water is in good condition and it won't have any normal filtration from the ground. Ooh, it just got windy all of a sudden. How's the band of bros doing? Just hanging out? What else is going on? So we closed these guys off for the time being. We had these roosters. Oh, you are a mess. Look at you. Wow, you're in desperate need of a bath. We put the guineas out here, so they're liking this. This was, or I guess still really is, the rabbit, one of the rabbit hutches, the outdoor rabbit run. But we went and we put these guys in because there's no top on this. Like over here, there's actually a screen that goes over top. There's no screen here, and we haven't clipped their wings. So the hens are getting out and the roosters are getting in, and when you have too many roosters in the hen house, well, you get a lot of fighting. And this is Hi and Guy, and they are a mess. Muscovy ducks. What is it? What is it? People think roosters only crow in the morning, but they do not. They crow at any time. All right, well, there's nobody in here. These guys are just hanging out. Just heading out to see Carl, Billy, and Manya, our miniature horse. But one thing I forgot to mention was in doing the grain, you're knowing what's going into that food that you're making for them, as well as if you price it out and if you have a supplier that you can get that from, get all those ingredients from, it's quite a bit cheaper to make your own feed than it is to buy it. But of course you're going to need some kind of grinder, some way to process that material. So something to keep in mind. Hi. Hey. Hi, Manya. So this will be the next one that has a young. So we're expecting in May. Of course, this is Carl and little Billy, Carl's son from last year. Now, one thing that we've noticed is Billy's fur is very nice because he's been outside most of the, well, he's been outside all of the winter. But the females inside, they're starting to shed. They've developed their coat and then they're inside, so they seem to be losing their hair. their bodies are saying, hey, it's warming up, but of course it's warming up inside the barn. So we're gonna leave them, the two younger ones, inside until it gets warmer out. Right, Carl? All right, so that's it for this video. You know, I said it last weekend. I might be uploading another one depending on what happens inside with the girls. Hopefully that happens and we don't have any problems. So that's it for now. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we might have another video for you tomorrow. We'll cross our fingers and wait and see. So if you haven't checked out that live stream, go to our main channel, and you can do that by just clicking on the 10 Acre Woods down in the bottom there, just below the video, and have a look at the live stream. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.